The sun was doing that late afternoon glow thing, turning Riverton's red brick library into a postcard, and my quiet, brilliant kid, was standing on the steps saying goodbye with his hands. Jace never needed volume to be heard. He's 13, skinny as a pencil hoodie, too big sketchbook under his arm, and those hands moving like a language only the kind and the patient know how to read. Then a cruiser hopped the curb like it owned the sidewalk. Doors flew open. Hands up, don't move. Officer Brent Colton had his gun out before his feet even hit the ground. Jace turned enough to read his lips, confused but calm, still finishing the sign for home. Second Officer Avery Pike hung back, eyes flicking from my boy's face to his empty palms. I've watched the footage too many times to count pages from that sketchbook go fluttering like startled birds. And then it happens. One shot. Small sound, huge hole. A woman screamed from the cafe. "He's deaf, you idiot." He was signing. And you can see Colton's jaw clench, like the truth just insulted him. 400 miles away, I'm in a hearing room pretending digital safeguards means anything in a country that still fears a brown child's hands. My pager buzzes with a code I designed for nightmares only. I don't excuse myself. I just say I have to go and keep walking until the air outside hits cold and hard. By the time my plane lifts off, I'm not the FBI director in a neat blazer. I'm just a mom who knows one thing. If we don't lock the story down, now somebody else will rewrite it for us. At Lawson Memorial, Dr. Elise Park meets me with a measured voice and eyes that don't lie. Left lung punctured, missed the heart. We got him back. We don't know about the hearing yet. She says the last part like she doesn't want to hand me one more loss to carry. I nod like a statue. Inside, there's a volcano. In the hallway, the world is already choosing sides. Nurses with their hands over their mouths. Teenagers on the lawn quietly signing, "We see you." No chanting, no chaos, just witness. My team sets up a small room that smells like dry erase markers and war. Naya Calder, my best digital bloodhound, has a screen full of logs. "Found it," she says. Aegis Site's Vantage Index flagged kinetic irregularity near a public building. Colton manually escalated to priority engagement. "No supervisor," she taps again. He's done that 6 times in 3 months. 4 were kids, 2 were near schools. I carry that into the meeting at Riverton PD like a lit match. Chief Harold Kincaid looks every bit the civic billboard's stiff uniform polite frown. "We initiated a full review," he recites. "False comfort," I say, sliding him a drive. "Your officer didn't follow a machine he hid behind it. He typed the override. And your internal affairs Captain Marla Dent sealed his last excessive force case. That victim was deaf, too." Kincaid reaches for his tie like it's oxygen. "Director Reed, let's not, I'm not here as your director." My voice goes quiet, the kind that makes a room lean in. "I'm here as Jace's mother." The department starts cleaning its tracks the second I leave. Body cam feed gone from the main server. They're wiping the shadow archive, Nia tells me, fingers flying. "I can race them, but I'll need your highest keys." "Take them," I say. "Burn them when you're done." Night falls in layers, beige waiting rooms, machine beeps, the soft punch of my heart hitting ribs every time Jace's fingers twitch. Marcus Hale, my chief of security, is at the door when someone knocks, the soft, guilty kind. Officer Ramon Vega stands there, uniform rumpled, eyes raw. "I think you should see this," he says, holding out a thumb drive like a confession. "We played in that little room with the terrible fluorescent light. Jace on the steps, bathed in gold. His hands flow through a hymn he loves, and look, even if you didn't know the words, you'd feel them. The quiet, the lift, the hope, the cruiser jerks. Stop moving." Colton barks. Jace finishes the signed palm open, and the screen jerks with the shot. No one speaks. Nia freezes the frame, 2 fingers extended, the last syllable hanging in air. "He was singing," I hear myself say, and it breaks something inside me. I didn't know I still kept locked up. I don't blast it to the world. Not yet. Hype is a hungry thing, It chews the truth and spits out slogans. I send the clip to 25 souls who know the weight of thing, deaf advocates, teachers, a pastor who, burying kids made old, too fast a mother who fought her district for punishing her autistic son for stimming. The clip spreads not like a fire, but like a prayer. Small rooms, real tears, kids in gymnasiums practicing. I'm not a threat in ASL, getting it wrong, laughing, trying again. When I step up to the mic on the steps of City Hall, there's no flag pin, no security theater. Just me, a plain blouse, and a plaza full of people with their hands painted bright and open. I'm not here as the FBI director today, I tell them. I'm here as a mother, I play the tape. You can feel the breath leave 1,000 lungs. My son was not resisting, I say when it ends. My son was singing. Hands are not weapons. That lands like a verdict. School boards start asking hard questions. A senator who never agrees with anyone suddenly agrees with everyone about oversight. The mayor who loved a ribbon cutting hates a microphone now. Aegis Site's PR team releases a statement about regrettable individual misjudgments. Cute. I've got their contract in a folder with more redactions than honesty in a Slack thread where an engineer jokes flag every hoodie in 29312 and call it a day. We go to Washington, oversight hearing. Chief Kincaid sits like a man wearing a suit that doesn't fit anymore. The mayor sweats under the lights. And then there's the soft-spoken CEO Clyde Barron of Aegis Site with cufflinks that cost somebody's mortgage. Vantage saves lives, he purrs. If there was misuse, that's a human issue, not a software flaw. Your software learned on dirty data, I say when they call me up. You didn't wash it, you polished it. You didn't build safety. Mr. Barron, you built projection, and then you sold it to men who fear what they never bothered to understand. He tries a smile. Director, I resent the implication. You don't get to define faith after you taught a machine to see my child's hands as a crime scene. The room doesn't clap. This isn't that kind of movie, but somewhere past the cameras, a line shifts and I feel it. They indict Colton, voluntary manslaughter, obstruction, falsification. Captain Dent's emails see daylight. The city freezes Vantage, and 3 states follow. A bill crawls forward with more amendments than courage, but movement is movement. Sergeant Tommy Alvarez, who once rolled his eyes at soft skills, now spends 5 mornings a week teaching recruits how to meet silence like a language instead of an enemy. Again, he tells a rookie patient for the first time in years, you're not performing a trick, you're having a conversation. Through it all, Jace heals slow. First, full breath. First, blink with focus. First sign 2 fingers tapping his opposite palm. There's no good way to explain the way the world threads fear into a boy's hoodie, so I don't try. I tell him a simpler truth. You're not alone. People are learning to speak your language. He nods that small, stubborn nod I've seen since he was a toddler asking for more story before bed. We don't get a Hollywood ending, but we get something alive. Riverton School Board adds ASL as a language option, and kids sign clumsy good mornings down crowded hallways. The old warehouse on South Clay turns into the Jace Monroe Center for Listening and Public Safety because naming matters. Officers run de-escalation drills with interpreters. Community volunteers run coffee across the hall. Nia's nonprofit Signal and Sense drops toolkits schools actually use. Someone paints a mural on the library wall, My Boy in Motion, no blood, no sirens, just hands mid-song. Below it in chalk that keeps getting rewritten after the rain, he was singing. Do people still argue online that he should have complied? Sure. There's always somebody who thinks obedience is the same as safety, as if quiet has ever protected us. Clyde Barron resigns to spend time with family, which is rich. The city floats a settlement number that looks big if you've never counted the cost of fear. We take a peace lawyer's advice, practical realities, and then we take something bigger. Binding reforms with dates, audits, with teeth contracts. You can actually read without a decoder ring. Sometimes late, I stand at Jace's doorway and watch him draw. He traces hands, hands in motion, hands telling jokes, hands signing songs my ears will never catch, but my bones swear they can feel. He signs one word when he catches me watching. Loud. It's a joke and a promise. I grin. We're getting there. So that's our story, the part that fits inside a video anyway. A predict the threat tool saw a child where a bogeyman was supposed to be an officer pulled a trigger because a screen told him he could, and a whole city had to learn that listening is a muscle we let atrophy for too long. I'm not asking you to like me or even to agree with everything we fought for. I'm asking you to think about what you'd want seen if it were your kid on those steps, your hands telling the world who you are. Tell me in the comments what you think justice looks like. Here, did the system fail? One cop, or did one cop reveal the system? Have you ever watched a person get judged before they open their mouth? What's the first sign we should teach every officer, every teacher, every neighbor, right or wrong? Be honest, because silence is comfortable, sure, but it's never been safe.